The Red Skelton Show, which aired from 1951 to 1971, stands as an iconic testament to the golden era of TV comedy. Anchored by the incomparable talents of Red Skelton, the program showcased a medley of memorable characters, slapstick humor, and heartfelt sketches that endeared it to the American audience. Join Facts First as we present Red Skelton's wife confirms the rumors 30 years after he died. The Red Skelton Show. Since Red Skelton was already a well-known name in entertainment, having succeeded in radio, movies, and as a live performer, his transition to television was a natural evolution of his career. The Red Skelton Show featured Red in various comedic sketches, often showcasing his myriad characters, each with its own unique persona. It was one of the defining TV comedy series of its time, with a successful run that lasted 2 decades. At the heart of its charm was Red Skelton, a comedian known for physical humor, pantomime skills, and an array of memorable characters. The show's format was primarily a comedy variety show. Each episode generally began with a monologue by Skelton, where he shared humorous anecdotes or playful jokes. That would be followed by a series of sketches, frequently built around one of his famous characters. They were usually slapstick comedy, satire, and lighthearted fun. Musical interludes, guest appearances, and occasional pantomime sketches were also staples of the show. Red was a master of characterization, and the show was a platform for his many personas. Let's talk about some of the most beloved ones. Freddie the Freeloader. Probably the most famous of all of his characters, Freddie was a kind-hearted hobo who spoke little but conveyed a lot through his actions. His segments often had an emotional depth to them, blending comedy with moments of genuine sentimentality. Clem Kadiddlehopper, a country bumpkin with a distinct voice and goofy demeanor. Clem's naivete was the source of much of the humor in his sketches. Sheriff Deadeye, a corrupt Wild West sheriff always ready with a scheme. San Fernando Red, a fast-talking con man always looking to pull one over on someone. Willie Lump Lump, a character perpetually inebriated, constantly getting into laughable situations because of his love for alcohol. Bolivar Shagnasty, a loudmouth braggart, often getting himself into trouble due to his overconfidence. Over the years, there were regular supporting cast members and a rotating door of guest stars. Some of the notable regulars included David Rose and his orchestra, who provided the musical accompaniment, and Art Gilmore as the show's announcer. Skelton's roots in vaudeville and his skills in pantomime were showcased in many episodes. The silent sketches, where Skelton would perform without speaking, were some of the show's most memorable moments. The Red Skelton Show was a pioneer in television comedy, setting a high bar for programs that followed. It was one of the few shows that transitioned from radio to television successfully. Cancellation. The show enjoyed a prolific run on television, spanning 2 decades from 1951 to 71, but it eventually came to an end. This can be attributed to a combination of factors. By the late 60s and early 70s, television was undergoing a significant transformation. The public's taste was shifting, with a growing preference for more contemporary and edgy programming. Shows that had a classic or old-fashioned feel began to seem outdated in the rapidly changing cultural and entertainment environment. As with many shows with long tenures, viewership began to wane in the latter years of its run. Newer, more modern shows began to capture the audience's attention, leading to a decline in ratings for The Red Skelton Show. CBS was in the midst of a significant programming overhaul. The network was aiming to attract younger, more urban audiences. This led to the cancellation of several shows that had a more traditional or rural appeal, a period often referred to as the Rural Purge. This purge saw the end of other beloved classics like Green Acres and the Beverly Hillbillies. The kind of clean, family-friendly humor that Red Skelton specialized in was becoming less dominant in the comedy scene. A new wave of comedians and shows that tackled current events, politics, and societal issues with a more direct and sometimes controversial approach were on the rise. Red's initial reaction to the cancellation was sadness. He reportedly told an audience in Las Vegas that he was heartbroken about it. He also struggled in the ensuing years, believing that his more conservative views ran counter to the network execs, and that's why he was being shut out of Hollywood. Syndication Issues. Despite its initial success and enduring legacy, The Red Skelton Show is not frequently seen in reruns, especially when compared to other shows from its era. The primary reason for this is a complicated web of rights and ownership issues. After the show ended its original run, the rights to its episodes became a point of contention. Skelton himself held on to the rights for the majority of the episodes, making syndication challenging. Further complicating matters was the fact that many episodes from the show's early years were broadcast live and never recorded, or only exist in now obsolete formats. There's also the matter of the changing comedic tastes of the times. As the decades have passed, what audiences find funny has shifted. And while Skelton's brand of humor was perfect for its time, modern audiences might not have the same connection to his style or characters. As a result, broadcasters may not see the show as being commercially viable for reruns as other, more contemporary programming. Further controversy was stirred up in 1980 when he was sued by 13 of his former writers. It was revealed that not only had he prevented his show from being shown in reruns originally, but that he had a statement in his will calling for the recordings of the show to be destroyed. This would have fully prevented reruns and syndication for the show, meaning those writers would lose out on residual payments. Skelton countered, saying he didn't actually want the recordings destroyed. He claimed he put that clause in his will in a moment of anger towards the TV industry. But in 1980 he said, quote, "Would you burn the only monument you've built in over 20 years? So either he'd had a change of heart or realized he was going to potentially lose the lawsuit. 3 years later, a company called Group W came to an agreement with Skelton to re-air some of his content, and more of it was made available in the years after he died. Career highlights. Red had a unique style, blending verbal and physical comedy, which endeared him to several generations of fans. His entry to the world of entertainment began in vaudeville, where he honed his comedic craft. By the late 30s and early 40s, he transitioned to radio with the Raleigh cigarette program, where he showcased many of his iconic characters. He starred in several MGM films during the 40s and early 50s. Those included Whistling in the Dark, The Fuller Brushman, and The Clown. He often played comedic characters, further establishing himself as a household name in comedy. Red had a knack for developing humorous personas, whether it was the dim-witted Clem Kadiddlehopper or the endearing hobo Freddie the Freeloader. Even with his success in films and TV, he never forgot his roots in live performance. Throughout his career, he continued performing live shows across the country. His brand of clean, family-friendly comedy made him a favorite from the vaudeville stage to nightclubs and more. He was also a talented artist and writer. He produced numerous paintings, mainly of clowns, which became highly sought after. And he penned several short stories and music compositions. In 1986, he was inducted into the International Clown Hall of Fame, and in '88, he received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Screen Actors Guild. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you ever watch The Red Skelton Show? Let us know in the comments section below.